Alright, so it's a new week, and today I have a new microphone attached to the camera, so I'm trying this out and see if I can improve the quality of the audio on these videos. So on to what's sold. These here are two different things of Perfume, which sold this weekend, the two different buyers. And I mentioned this in the past, I bought these at an auction. It was a tray of high-end perfume. I paid $160 for it. And now that stuff is really starting to sell, so it's pretty great. This here is Christian Dior. It's a vintage. It is a mostly full bottle. It's a glass bottle. I forget the size on this one. 1 fluid ounce, and it's pretty smelly stuff. I can actually smell it from here. This here sold for $88. And then the second one here is a bottle of Canoe, which I believe is a men's cologne. And this bottle is full, it's unopened, it's a pretty large size. It doesn't indicate what the size is. And the funny thing about this one is I kept getting one guy who was contacting me saying he was concerned that it was old and it wouldn't smell nice and would I sell it to him for $10. And I said no, or actually I never even replied to him. He contacted me about 3 times over the past 3 weeks or so, and finally it sold, so I shouldn't hear from him again. And this piece sold for $50. So right now, I calculated that I'm up about $450 in profit on that lot after I back out my expenses. So, and I still have, I'd say, about 9 or 10 pieces left to sell. So I'm doing pretty good. A couple of primitive wooden kitchen tools sold. I listed these as butter paddles. They're a little bit different than some butter paddles. I've never really seen this kind of curved design. This one's squared off and it's made of a really nice bird's eye maple. It's hard to see, but when it gets wet, it's got this real luster to it, little bird's eye grain going on. Anyhow, these usually go for about $10 or $15 on eBay. I put the pair up for $45. Somebody wanted them for $30. I brought them back up to $35 and we had a deal. Bought these at auction. There's a big lot of old primitive kitchen stuff, and I paid maybe $15 or $20, and I still got probably a dozen more auction lots out of that or lots that I'll be selling on eBay. This is a couple of really old forks, and you might think that these are Civil War era, but actually they're even earlier. These probably date to the colonial era, and typically they're attributed to the Revolutionary War, so maybe even George Washington ate with these, I don't know. Anyhow, these are 3-tine. Often in the Revolutionary period, they would be 2-tine forks, but 3-tines were common more in England, so these might have been brought over from England. So they're quite rare. They got a bone handle. This one looks like a child size. This one looks like an adult size. They kind of match. They have a very specific profile, and it's very different than you'll see in the Civil War forks. So these here I put up for $50, and they sold pretty much within a few days. And these came in the same lot as the butter paddles, which I just showed in the previous video. This is a set of 4 hammered copper measuring cups. Very nice. They have this kind of twisted cast iron handle. They're a hammered copper body. And they come with this really nice rack for hanging in your kitchen on a wall, I suppose. And they just hang on like so for organizing and displaying. The beautiful pieces, I put these up for $65 for the whole set, and I took a best offer of $50 for these. This is a beautiful piece of strip woven fabric. I believe it originates from Africa, and it's just a really nice strip woven design. Each of these pieces is basically woven separately on a loom, and then it is stitched together to create this fabric. It's got a really nice distressed look to it, and if you hold up to the light you can see little pinholes and stuff. Just a really nice piece of fabric. It's quite old. I picked this up at auction. There was a whole table of this type of fabric, and it just looked really interesting. It looked like it was from somebody who collected fabric from around the world. Some of it was labeled, so I bought it for about $60. And I've sold several pieces out of that lot for $200, $300. So it's been a really great lot. And this piece here I had up for $170. I did not have best offer on it because I was confident somebody might buy it at that price. It's been up now for about 8 months or so, and somebody sent me a note yesterday on eBay asking if I could do better on the price. And so I sent them an offer of $130 for it, and they accepted. So I'm really glad to get this out, and this is pretty much 100% profit. So I'm very happy with that lot. I'm looking for more of this fabric if I can find it. It's really, it's been a really great seller, and I would never have expected it to sell so well. So people have been buying all my big pieces. So it's upstairs again for these. And this is where I keep all my inventory. Second floor. And over here is what sold. These are a couple of really, really cool diner stools. They're totally authentic. They're the real deal. They're very heavy. They weigh about 30 pounds each. There's 2 of them. I picked these up at an auction. I think I paid about $100, maybe $120 for these. I thought they were really awesome, and I thought they would sell for more, just given how authentic and genuine these are. And I ended up putting them up for, I forget, $3.95. And I got a lot of really lowball offers, like $75 for one. I just want one. And so I haven't found a buyer for quite a while on these. And then finally someone came in last night, gave me an offer of $175. I flat out rejected it. And then they came back with $250. So they were getting more serious there. So I kicked back to $295, and then they agreed to it. And they paid right away. The problem was I had these on local pickup. I was hoping not to ship them, and they wanted them shipped. So I came in the barn this morning and I weighed them. I put them in a few different mock boxes to see what configuration would work the best, and figured out the shipping on these. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I'm going to weigh about 65 pounds. The box is going to be about 30 inches by 15 by 24, I think, or 28. So it's going into oversized territory, but shipping it on UPS, they were going to charge between 35 and 40 bucks. And I'm going to double box these. First going to take, they do come apart, so I'm going to take them and put them in 2 pieces, put them in this box, and then take that box and put it inside this box. So that should ensure that they don't punch through the box when I'm shipping these. So they do come apart. Right here you can see they come apart into 2 pieces, so it makes it far easier to ship these. So it's not going to be quite as bad of a shipping job as the fireplace andirons I had to ship the other day. These should pack up pretty quickly. So it should be a lot of fun. It's awfully hot up here. This barn is in full sun, and the second floor starts to get pretty toasty pretty quick. So I want to get these packed up and be out of here really soon. I'm a little sad to see this crock go. I've been using it as a flower vase on my old farm table, and I just really like the style of it. It's just a really neat piece and looks great with some hydrangea in it. Anyhow, this is an old advertising crock, probably from the early 1900s, based upon its style and the print on it. It's in pretty good shape. It doesn't have a lid. It probably had one at one point. It's got, little hairline cracks here and there, but structurally it's in good condition. So this clip got cut off, but what I was going to say was I picked this up at auction with a bunch of other crocks and bowls, paid about $10 or $15 for the whole lot. This piece here I put up for $110 or best offer, and I ended up taking a best offer of $65 for it. This is a set of 10 state souvenir charm pendants, or necklace pendants. They're just neat. Each one is a different state. So we got Ohio here, North Carolina, Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania. Just kind of cool pieces. They're enamel on metal. I don't think any of these are precious. Picked them up in a cigar box lot, basically, of old pins and ephemera, and just decided to group them all together and sell them as a lot, and these sold for $24.95. This is a flip drip coffee maker. It's metal, it's vintage, and it's made in Italy. I really have no idea how it works. You put water in somewhere, you put your grinds in, and then through the magic of science, you get coffee out of it. Doesn't really matter how it works. What matters is it's sold, and this sold for $24.95 on Bonanza. This is an early New England gathering basket. It's a genuine antique. It's quite old. It's probably, I'm guessing, sometime in the 1800s. I don't know too much about baskets. It's not really my thing. But I got this at an estate auction with a couple of old pantry boxes, and the pantry boxes were inside this basket. And I kind of discounted it at first, but when I started looking at it, I noticed certain details in it. The nice bent wood handle, the bent wood wrapping around the rim here, these older nails, and then a kind of a telltale sign of a genuine antique piece is the kind of bleeding off that the nails do with the wood here. That's something that takes age and time to occur. It's got a little bit of damage on the bottom, you know, not unexpected given that this is, you know, 100+ years old. So I did a little research on baskets and found out that older gathering baskets can fetch a good amount of money. So I put this up for $225, which I knew was kind of ridiculous, but I figured I'd start somewhere. And I just took the first offer I got, which was $75, and I figured this may be my chance to get rid of it. I paid nothing more than 15 or 20 bucks for the whole lot, so I'm happy with that sale. I haven't been selling as much jewelry lately. Might be because I'm not listing it. I have a lot of jewelry to get through, so eventually I will be putting up more. But this piece here sold. It's a sterling silver tennis bracelet. It has a Byzantine style chain. It's a nice piece. It's kind of unique. Toggle clasp. It's marked Indonesia. And I had this up for $32.95, and I got did not have best offer on it, but somebody sent me a message overnight asking if I would be willing to do $29.95, and I said sure. I sent them back an offer through the eBay send offer feature, and they accepted and they paid right away. With jewelry pieces like this, usually if it's under $40, I don't bother with best offer because people just usually send out really, really low offers when they're trying to purchase a piece. So I just usually set a price and hope that somebody comes in and buys it for these kind of lower value pieces like this. This is a Chinese export plate that I picked up at auction in a tray lot of some things. And it's kind of hard to authenticate exactly what this plate is because there's no mark on the bottom. My best guess was that it's a 19th century Chinese export in the Canton style. And I put this up for $49. It does have some chips in the rim. The gold leaf is a little bit worn here. And overall, the kind of glazing is, you know, this plate's been around for a while or been used for something. So I put it up for $49, and I took a best offer of $40 for it.